Hey everyone, trying to get straight on here. I'm backwards and it makes me look backwards to me. Happy Sunday. I hope you've had a wonderful Sunday. Came straight from church. I'm still in my dress for church. I didn't even change, but I wanted to get this finished. I started on it a little bit earlier and I thought, no, I'm not going to do any more. I'm going to wait and do it with girls. And this is what we painted. What, did we do it Thursday? I think we did it Thursday. Anyway, on this side of it, and I decided to put a sunflower on this side of it, and I'll show you what I used. I didn't just freehand it on there. I am always constantly looking for something. Say hi when you come on. Let me go ahead and get you pulled up over here on my iPad so I can see comments. But I am always on the lookout for something that will make my life easier because I am not a technical person. I do not do my patterns on, I still haven't gotten Procreate done yet, but anyway, I don't do all of that, so I'm always looking for something that'll make my life easier. So I was shopping at Walmart, and these were hanging on, you know, sometimes they'll have like chip clips and things hanging on these hangers by on the aisle. Well, this was hanging there. I don't even know what it is. I don't think it's a hot pad because I think it would melt. So I'm not sure, but I thought, oh, what a cute pattern that would be. And look, the center even comes out of it to make my center. So that's what I used tonight to get my center on this. And I just traced around with the pencil the little petals on there. And so we're just gonna go for it. I'm gonna turn my fan on. I'm sorry, it's already getting hot under these lights. Let me turn my fan on real quick. And I may get cold in a minute and have to get up and turn it off. 'Tis the age. Getting old is just not fun. Well, I don't know. It is fun sometimes. I'm having fun. So anyway, we had a wonderful time at church. Had 2 great worship services. We had a lunch at church today. Every second Sunday we have lunch. And today was the day that we would do lunch. Let me see if I can get this live pulled up here. Oh, wrong one. Bear with me just a minute. Let's see if it's going to give us our live. Okay, there we go. I think I've got you. See Roxy. Okay, great. Great. And Rosie, hello, hello. Say hello when you come on. I very rarely come live on Sundays because it's always just such a busy day. But Mr. Pam had a meeting after church and I thought, I'm going to go home and try to get this finished. I don't know that I'll finish it tonight, but we'll try. Anyway, so we got the little snowman on this side. I just added the berries. I added some details to the berries, a few little highlights and shading on the berries. I think that's the only thing I did after we got off, and I sprayed it. I did seal it, and I've got a little plastic cardboard down here so it doesn't scratch it all up, and I've got my handle where it's not going to come up and down and get in our way, hopefully. So I'm going to be doing the petals in yellow, so I'm doing some base coating in white just so that yellow will cover better. And that's what we're going to work on tonight. And if you're new to the page, my name is Pam Savage. I am owner of Young at Heart Creations. Love to paint, love to teach you to paint. I love to see the things that you paint. Y'all are so creative, and I learn so much from y'all. So, and y'all, you can tell I'm from Texas. Yes, I am. North Texas, about 60 miles north of Dallas. Been a Texan all my life, except for a few summers when I went to live with my dad. But, all right, I'm going to pull you down here. Hi, Susie. Hello, hello. Say hello when you come on. Hi, Barbara. And if you're watching the replay, please put hashtag replay on there. If you're new, hit that FOLLOW button. I would love that. And then if you would sprinkle the love, that just means send the video out to your friends on your page. That SHARE button, I don't know why Facebook doesn't want us to use that word because they're always wanting us to grow our pages. So I'm not sure why they don't want us to use that word, but so we say spread the paint, spread the love, anything like that. And that just helps us to increase our reach that Facebook will send the videos out to. Because even if you have 10,000 followers on your page, but you're not getting the content or the engagement that Facebook thinks you should, then they don't send the video out to everybody that follows you. You would think they would, but they don't. Okay, so all I'm doing right now is just base coating these petals. And some will overlay the others, and we'll kind of do that as we paint the yellow on them. So I'm just putting a couple of coats of this white, especially since this is black. And I got this at an antique store. I thought I paid $12.95 for it. I paid $10.95 plus tax. But it was already black and already speckled. I did not splatter paint it. It was already done that way. So, and it's a pretty heavy spackle. So it's bumpy underneath these coats of paint. I'm using an angle brush. You could use a round or you could use a flat. And I've got burnt umber is the center. I think that's what I used. I forgot to pull it back out. Pretty sure that's what I used. Deco Art Burnt Umber. And I'm not being just super persnickety or careful with these petals. I'm just giving them a little bit of a shape that I used with this little doodad that I found at Walmart. I have no idea what it's for, especially with that center coming out of it. If you have one, if you've bought one at Walmart and you know what it's for, let me know. I don't still have the package. It may have said on the package what it was for. I don't think it's a hot pad because it's, I don't know, it may be that heat resistant type of rubber. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Something to set your hot pan or something on. I'm not sure. Okay, let's go ahead and dry that just a little bit. But look how already, Let's just changed it, putting that white on. So I'm going to get these petals base coated, and then I think I'm going to do a couple of leaves. You got to be careful, this metal gets hot. Really, really hot. Okay, so I'm going to start, let's start back over here because I did these first. And this base coat doesn't have to cover completely because I'm gonna be going over it with cadmium yellow. You know, we had a cool spell here this last couple of days. It was 60 something when we got up this morning. So nice. We got home from church and David went and rode his bicycle. I took my Sunday nap. I love my Sunday naps. I don't always get them, but sometimes it works out. And I wouldn't probably have to put quite as many coats on this if the splattering wasn't so thick on here, but it just kind of helps cover it. And we're going to go over the edge in that center, so it doesn't matter if you get over in it just a little bit. I'm just kind of brushing it on there. I add a little bit of water to my brush. Between the fan and the hot lights, it dries out. And you can see I'm just not taking a lot of pain with it at all, just to get this base coat thrown on here. We'll be a little more careful when we're putting the final color on. And I think I'll mix a little bit of white and yellow just to give it a little more layer. And then we'll do some highlighting in the center, and then I think I'll do some dotting around it. So I'm just kind of starting up at the top, giving it a point and coming down. Or you can turn it around and do it the other direction. It really doesn't matter on this. We had company over last night. We've been trying to have several couples over from church, at least once or twice a month. And we just had the best time. I fixed a roast, a pork roast, big, huge baked potatoes, and salad. And what else did I fix? Salad and apple pie, and bread. Fixed some bread. And so we smothered our big old baked potatoes with the roast. It was so good. And then, of course, we sat around the table and we had lots of laughs. Last night was having all the preachers, anybody in the congregation that's been a preacher, whether full-time or part-time. We had all them over. It's amazing some of the preacher stories you hear, y'all. I don't know how they survive preacher training school, for one thing. It is tough. But then the things that they're told, or I don't know, it was, some of the stories were hilarious. I can remember one time we were having services, and it was when we were in our little bitty building, little tiny building, and it was packed. We were busting at the seams, and that's why we ended up having to build a new building. We were just out of room. But the preacher was just full swing into his sermon, and one of the little boys, he was just 2 years old, he was acting up, and his mother had finally had enough, and you could tell. She grabbed him up, and she was walking out with him, and of course his face is, he's looking backwards, and he sees the audience and the preacher. Anyway, he knew he had messed up and that he was about to get a little spanking, and he yelled out, "Y'all pray for me, please pray for me." And this same little boy, a few weeks later, got up out of the pew before his mom could even grab him, and he was the sweetest little thing. Anyway, got up out of the pew, ran up to the preacher right in the middle of the sermon, and said, "I'm going to TT, I'm going to TT, I'll be back in a minute." And the preacher just said, "Okay, all right, don't run." He just went right on preaching, but, you know, just kept his composure. It's just, you never know with these kiddos. We went for a while where we just didn't have any little ones. They were all up older. And I tell you, we missed not having little ones running around and doing funny things, but to teach them, and they're just like little sponges. They can learn so much. I mean, my 2-year-olds can sing all the books of the New Testament, and they know answers to so many Bible questions at 2 years old. So we start them early. We start them in cradle roll. All right, one more there. I'm going to have to put a little bit more on a couple of them here. Let's see. We'll dry it right quick. Okay, we'll put a little more there. Hi, Jen. Hello, Miss Rosie. Who all we got on here? All right, good deal. Didn't know if there'd be anybody on a Sunday night. I was telling them when I first got on here, I'm still in my church clothes. I haven't even changed. I did take my hose off. That's the first thing that comes off when I come in. Get those hose off. So I'm barefoot. This is a real soft bristle brush I got from Grabby. And I think it was from Grabby. I don't remember. I got it off of Amazon. Anyway, it's a good floating brush, a good shader. Now, after I get the yellow on these, I will, well, I guess I could go ahead and base coat the leaves. Just get the base coating done. And I'm not even making now on this, they were all very precise, what I used to do it, but I'm not even making them all exactly the same shape. I'm gonna wash that out before it gets up into the ferrule. It's getting pretty close. Okay, let's see where I want a leaf. Let's put one. Okay, we'll do one right there and right there. Okay, change my mind. I am gonna go ahead and do the leaf first. So let's get some, the petals. So let's get some cadmium yellow. And hopefully I don't get this on me. I should have put an apron, at least an apron on. Oh well, we'll see. It'll come out with alcohol if it gets on it. There we go. All right, I'm just gonna load with the yellow. I'm gonna mix a little bit of white in with it. And let's make this one, the top one here, we'll make it behind, and then we'll go behind with every other petal. So I'm gonna do this one over. So it'll go over this one. And then over this one. I'll be turning this a lot, and I apologize for that, but the shape it is, it's just kind of hard to get around that. Okay, so this one will be over this one. Sure makes it easier having it base coated in that white. Covers so much better. And I'm not using much white on my brush at all. Okay, so we're going to come over. Both of those. Stray hair on that one. Okay, so I'm going to skip one and make this one come over that one. You could mix in a little bit of orange in your yellow if you wanted to. Okay, skip one. come over. Just trying to cover up that white a little bit. There we go. Okay, see how I'm skipping every other one, and I'm putting the one that's still white is behind the 2 yellow petals. And when we do our shading, it'll make that stand out even more. Okay, so I'm gonna skip. Finally got my fall tote, David, to get my tote down. It's got my fall stuff in it, so I'm hoping to get some pumpkins out on my front porch. At the old house, we had a big front porch, but we lived so far up off the road, nobody could ever see it if I was to put anything out. I did. I still put stuff out, but the only time anybody saw it, besides us, was if we had company over. Are y'all being lazy this Sunday evening? Usually on Sundays, we just kind of relax. We'll try to find a movie. We go over our calendars together. Okay, I'm just streaking a little bit of white in there. That one wasn't covering good at all. So go back over it. So I'm not sure I understand with Facebook. I've gotten, in the last 30 days, I've gotten 28 new followers. Lots of messaging back and forth. That was up really well. And yet my reach had gone down 50%. So I'm not sure why. I don't even pretend to understand why Mr. FB does what he does. Like not wanting you to use the SHARE word for your videos, but yet they want you to get as many followers as you can. Well, how can you do that if you don't encourage people to spread your videos out? I'm not sure. So I'm still trying to learn this world. It really shows up pretty on that black, doesn't it? Oops. I will definitely be getting more of these if I run across them. I'm regretting not getting the coffee pots that I saw. They were that cobalt blue. This one is black. Okay, I can think of a color I forgot to get out. And I need that deep ochre to shade these with. Okay, let's try and put a second coat on those real quick. Still looks kind of messy right now, but it'll hopefully all come together. And it'll still be a little transparent, but I'm okay with that. Okay, let me fix that one. And again, I apologize for all the twisting, but in order for me to reach it like I need to, I don't know how else to do it. Okay, I'm just putting a little bit of white streaking in there. We get out earlier in our congregation than most do. We start our evening services at 5, and we get out earlier than most of them do for morning services also. Does give us a little bit of an advantage when we're going to restaurants or anything, because we're a little bit earlier than most congregations. Oops, hit the wrong one there. Okay, so that's got a little bit of white. And before I do those back ones, I'm going to go ahead and shade some deep ochre around those. Just to kind of set them apart. I'm going to use the same brush, just angle brush. Paint off of me before I get it everywhere. Okay, so I'm just putting a little bit of water on there. You can even go darker with brown, but I think this is going to show up just fine. I'll get a couple done and I'll hold it up. Haven't used this brush very much. It's really, really soft. So I'm having to kind of get used to it. Okay, I'm going to use a different brush to get some water on there. A little bit too much. I keep dipping into the wrong color. Okay, so see how I'm going over that petal next to it, so it makes it look like that other petal is under that one. And by shading, it really makes it stand out that way. And then these will just shade the tips. So I'm just adding a little bit of water. See if I can speed it up a little bit. Now, if your shading starts kind of breaking up, that means you need a little more water on your brush or on the surface. What is it that Erica Wallace calls it? Morse coding. If your shading starts Morse coding, that means you need more moisture. Oh, look at the difference that's already making. Love it, love it, love it. You'd think when you do this all the time, you would think you would get tired of it. I mean, you're not as excited when something works, but I don't. I just enjoy it so much. Get a little bit of that off. I'm going to go ahead and do the left sides of those that I just wet, and then we'll come back and do the other side. Okay, I've got one more here. And then we'll do the ones behind. It's all the little details that make such a difference. There you go on that. Let's dry that so we don't, as we're painting these other ones, wipe all that off we just did. Okay, now let's go back in with our yellow and white. And do the tips of the other ones. Well, it won't be just the tips because we didn't go completely over them. But there'll be part of this one that's not shaded. Okay, I'm going to go right up to where I just shaded, and I'm not going to go over it on that other petal because I want that to stay like it is. Sorry, trying to keep this so it's in camera. I've got two of my canvases left that we did at the paint party that I need to get painted. And I thought about doing it live, but then I thought, oh, I don't know if that would be fair to the ladies that paid to come, you know, that paid to come for the tutorial. So I may not. I may just have to get them knocked out. I've got a lot of painting to do the next few weeks to see if I can get enough done for the craft show this year and make a decision as to whether or not I'm going to do it. Have enough stuff to do it. I want to do it. We decided to postpone the garage sale until Mr. David gets the patio and everything finished on the shed. We just didn't want to start another project and be in the middle of two projects at once, because we'll have to price everything, arrange the garage so we can get everything in it. It's a lot of work. I thought, well, maybe we can meet more of our neighbors by having one. The neighbors here, just with the exception of a couple of them, they don't ever even come out of their houses except to go to work, come home. We don't ever even see kids out playing. I mean, when we were young, we played outside till the street lights came on at night. You know, Mom had to call us in. It's time to come in, get cleaned up, ready for bed, for, you know, so you can get up for school in the morning. But you just don't see that here. Since COVID, I mean, it's so different since COVID. Everybody just goes in and goes on their electronics. I'm going, people, get outside. And they're young, most of them. So if I see any of them out in the yard or anything, I make a point to go over and introduce myself. And some of them are so friendly and others are friendly, but it's like, okay, we're really not used to having conversation. It's so sad. COVID changed a lot of things. And we've got so many people coming in from other states that I guess don't have the neighborhood feel where they came from. But I'm determined to change that on this block at least. I'll bake them I'll bake them some of my famous beef enchiladas, and I'll make them some homemade ice cream. Maybe I'll paint them a door hanger. Here, I thought your door needed something. That ought to go over real good, huh? Telling me my front door is ugly? No, that's not what I meant. Okay, so I'm being a little more careful with these because I don't want to get over that shading that I just did. It's going to take another coat. I know, I know, Heather. I sat down. I thought, do I want to change and put everything, change everything? I was like, no, I just want to get the hose off, and I'm just going to go for it because I thought I'm not going to have it really close up to me. It's a little space. Now, if I were painting something bigger, I definitely would have changed, and I may regret it. But you know, rubbing alcohol will take it out. Hopefully, I don't get anything on it. We'll see. All right, this time I'm going to add a little bit of white in there. Not too much because we'll come back and streak it. Now I can tell which petal that I'm working on because I shaded those other ones. So it's very easy to see which one I need to be painting. round and round. I've been trying to figure out a way I could have a paint party in my house. I could get 3 around my big table, and I could set maybe 2 up in the kitchen and maybe a couple in the living room. I'm not sure, with card tables or something. I don't know if I'll do that or not. I just think it would be fun and more personal. Okay, this dries really fast on here with this fan going that I've got going. Now, if you just hopped on, this is the other side of the snowman that we did. And I sprayed him, so he's real shiny now. So for the snowman, I would put pine branches and red berries, and, or you could even do it in the blues and silvers. That would be pretty too. And for this one, I would put some kind of, you could do fall or even summer colors with it. But I also think it would be pretty with washcloths, something like that rolled up in it. Be cute if you were having people over to put your utensils, eating utensils in it, or napkins, or it's just so many different things you could do with it. I will definitely be on the lookout for some more. Thank y'all for the hearts. I appreciate that so much. After we get past the busy holiday season, this is our busiest time of the year, Mr. Pam and I are going to sit down and make a decision on if we want to try to do a membership or not. The only thing holding me back is I just don't know all the technical things and how to like offer you the templates and you know all that good stuff. So I'm gonna have to do some thinking, some soul searching, some praying. I want to so badly. I've already named it. I've already got the name of what it would be. And several things that I could do. All right, let me kind of go around and put a second coat in the center there. Let me look at them. Okay, I think we're good. I'm just going to add a little bit of white. Get some of the yellow out. Hi, Ashlyn. I could not get over how tall your oldest boy was this morning in church. Hi, Betty. They're laughing at me because I'm still in my church clothes, Betty. I didn't change when I came home from church. I was trying to hurry and get this done before Mr. Pam comes home so I can just sit down and enjoy supper with him. Okay, I'm just adding some of those little white streaks in there just to kind of brighten it up a little bit. And then we'll put some little, well, we've got to shade those first. Okay, let's shade those back ones. And then we'll make the little, I don't know what you call them. I call them petal wrinkles. We'll make those, and then we'll do the leaves, and then we'll do the center. So here's what we've got so far. And since I've got this sprayed real well over here, I'm not really worrying about touching it because I can just wipe it off if I get anything on it. Okay, so let's shade, and I'm going to start down here at the bottom. And we'll just be doing the tips of these because they're behind the other petals. Okay, so just the tips. Just make it kind of blend down in there like it's going behind that other one. And I can see my pencil mark on that one and that one, so I'll erase those when I go back. It's kind of hard to tell. I have to keep turning it up because with that light, it's hard to tell where I have done it. And if you wanted it even darker, you could, after it's dry, come back over it and just work with it till you get it as dark as you want it. I think shading just makes so much difference in them. The shading and the highlighting. And I'm always reminding you that the technique is called floating. If it's darker than your base coat color, it's called shading. If it's lighter, it's called highlighting. That a little darker. And I can always come back off camera in if I want them a little darker, work on them. Okay, let's get this one a little darker. Okay, we're almost done with the shading. I just dipped my brush in water just a little more. So we've still got a couple more to do here. Just a little more to that one. Let me dry it and add a little more to it. I want it darker. Thanks, Miss Roxy. Okay, so we've got, I'll get this one a little darker. Sunday night is also, if we don't watch a movie, is usually when I get all comfy and I go prop myself up in my bed with about 3 or 4 pillows, and that's when I watch all your videos, all of you that go live. Okay, I'm going to darken these up a little bit. And just a couple of spots. Okay, I think we got them all. I need Peggy Wilson on here to tell me if I missed any. Okay, so there's what we've got so far. Okay, now, while I've still got that deep ochre out, I'm going to take my small little bitty liner brush that I love, 10-0. And my paint's drying out a little bit, so I'm going to add just a little bit of water to it. All right, now let's go around and put some wrinkles. We'll just start down here, and I'll do a long one straight up, and then 2 out to the side. Some are longer than others. I don't try to just make them all the same. I'm not putting much pressure. We'll dry that, and then I think we'll go ahead and do the center, and then we'll do the leaves. So that way I can be letting the dots on the center dry. I may be making a trip to the Goodwill or somewhere, some thrift stores around here to see if I can find some more of these. So I would like to do a gingerbread man on one. I'd like to do a Santa on one. And I doubt if I'm going to find this shape, but just something. Okay, look at the difference those little lines made. Okay, let me find my burnt umber again. I had already put it up. How about that? First try. First try. And I think that's what I used. We will soon see. Okay, and I'm going to switch to this other little angle brush. And just clean up a little bit around that edge. Standing it up on its chisel edge, standing it straight up. Then we're going to do some shading just around the outside of this circle, the center. And then by the time we get our dots and everything on it, if there is any little areas that you didn't cover real well or what, you won't even know it. You could even take a sponge and sponge a center on. There's so many different ways to do the sunflowers. Typically I do the black centers, but with this being a black background, I didn't want it to look like it was just a hole in the flower. Okay, let's do some shading around the center of it. Let's go ahead and dry that a little bit so that I don't run my arm across it in my Sunday dress. Okay, good enough. And let's get that deep ochre again. And then I want to do something to the petals. One more thing to the petals. Let's get a little bit of moisture on here. And just at the base of each petal, I'm going to go around with that deep ochre. It dries pretty fast on this metal. Hard to see in the picture, but look at the top. It's got that shading. The bottom does not around the center yet. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but it sure makes a difference. And this softer bristle brush really makes it kind of fade out like you want it to. Okay. Okay, now I want to dry brush some, nope, I said I was going to do the petals next. Let me get some white here. I need some more white. Do the petals real quick and then we'll do the center. Need to put some highlight in the center. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little highlight line on each petal. A lot of extra little details, but you can see how quick it's going. And it would be even quicker if I wasn't, you know, doing it live and talking and visiting. So it is another step, but it just adds so much to it. If you're not comfortable using a liner brush, you could even do this with a paint pen. Found out one of our little married couples, they got married last spring, and she just found out she's expecting. She's about 11 to 13 weeks along. And guess whose pew she sits on? I'm so excited. So we'll have a new baby on our pew. All right, now you know that white kind of fades sometimes, so if you need to go over any of them, you can do that after they dry, and I just ran my hand through that one. Okay. So I just did that around each one. Okay, let's dry that, and then let's do some highlight in the center. I'm going to save the dots on this till last. Because I don't want to be running my hand through them. And this is Americana Deco Art. Old. I've had it forever. And it's a camel color. I think I'm going to try that for the highlight in the middle. Very thick. I've probably had it for 20-something years. Okay, so I'm going to use my makeup brush. Not my makeup brush that I use to put my makeup on, but makeup brush that I get from Dollar Tree. It's Wet n Wild. They're great for this. So I'm just working it into those bristles. And I'm just going to get it off on my hand here, and as soon as I feel it not cool to the touch, then I know I've got it probably just about right. Just going in a circular motion. Okay, and that's it. That's all we need on that. Okay, and that just gave it a little bit of a highlight. And then we'll do some dotting around it. But let's go ahead and get our leaves laid out. Okay, I think I'm gonna go here. Whoops. It's kind of hard with it being curved. I want to be careful because I don't want it to show on the end here since we've got a double-sided one. So I'm going to stop right here at the top. And we'll go right there. Now I tried my chalk pencil on it, but it didn't show up because I think they've got a finish on this and it just wasn't showing up really well. Okay, so let's go. There. Okay, I think that'll work on that one. So let's go. I'm going to base coat it in white. Let me stick some of this burnt umber back in. Way too much. I don't want to waste it. bunch out there. It wouldn't come out, and then all of a sudden it all came out at once. Okay, I feel better. I saved it. Yeah, Rosemary, I'm live. Okay, I've got, oh, almost got paint on me. I didn't do it though. Yep, you're watching live. Okay, so I've got those drawn on. Let's go ahead and get, I'm going to use a round brush just to kind of lay it out so I can see what I'm doing. Now, if Facebook did not notify you, Rosemary, if you will just go hit that follow button, and then there'll be a little bell beside it, and click on Get All Notifications, or click on the 3 little dots, and there'll be an option to get all notifications. And then when I go live, Facebook should send you a little ping or something that I'm live. Okay, so that tells me where that leaf is. And we'll get a larger brush here to fill that in. And it won't take much at all because we're going to put that Hauser medium green over it. But this will just kind of give me an idea of where it's going to go, and it'll help that green to pop a little more. I'm trying to do this so that it's on camera for y'all too, so give me some grace here if it's looking weird. I am just not a good upside down painter. But if you go watch Art and Grace, she paints everything upside down and they turn out so pretty. I don't know how she does it. Art and Grace. Okay, and while I'm live, y'all are welcome to put your, if you do Facebook Lives, or if you have a shop that you sell in, let us know the name of your business. Don't put links because Facebook gets a little upset if we have a lot of links in the comments, but if you will just give us the name so we can go look you up. And just let us know if it's on Facebook or Etsy or where it is. Okay, there's that one. Now let's get this bottom one. Okay, I'm going to kind of use this round to go around those petals. And then once we get the center done, that's going to add some more color to it because I'm going to use I'm going to use that color that we highlighted with in the center, that we dry brushed with. And then I'm going to use orange. And I'm going to use white, and I may stick a couple of black ones in there too. Thank you, Rosie. Hi, Julie. Hi, Jamie. I've already got supper cooked. So when Mr. Pam gets home and when I finish this, all we got to do is warm it up. So that's why I thought I could get away with doing a live tonight. And again, if you're watching the replay, hit hashtag replay so we'll know that you were here and maybe where you're from. If you're a newbie, please comment newbie so we can welcome you to the page. All right, so almost got it base coated. I think the green's gonna really look nice on this black. I think just about any color is gonna look pretty on this black. Okay, I think that's plenty of base coating on those for the color we're going to be using. Let's draw that and get our base coat of green. And for the green, I think I'm going to use this Hauser Medium. And then we'll shade with Hauser Dark and highlight with Citron Green. So these will be our 3 green colors. All right, let's get some of that medium green out. Oh yeah, I like that. It'll take a couple of coats, even with this white. That's gonna be pretty. It's so hard as a painter. So many things that if it's something unique like this that you don't have a dozen of to paint, I always have a hard time letting go and putting them in my sales. I'm like, surely I've got a spot that I could put that in. But you can't have business if you hang on to everything. You can't make a profit. Here's where we are so far. And we'll do some shading to make those look a little darker down in there. while that one's drying, we'll just go ahead and do this one. And then we'll give them both a good dry. And put on a second coat. I think a second coat will do it, and then we can finish up our center. But I'll have to have some curly cues or something coming out from the leaves. I can never just leave it alone. Always got to add a little something, something. Sorry, I'm having to kind of hold it up away because that light's shining on it and I can't see where the white is. We got a call. The contractor is finally coming Wednesday to put in our new back door. It'll be one of those full glass doors that has the blinds inside it. And he was going to come a month ago, called and said he would be here the next day. And well, I tested positive for COVID and was so sick. And he said, nah, I think I'll wait a little bit. And he had to go ahead and start another job. So we've had the new door out in the garage for over a month now. All right, let's put another coat on it. Might possibly have to put a third one. I don't think so, but we'll see. And then I can say I've got another project done when we finish this one. And then on that bread paddle that I bought that's black, I think I want to make it a double-sided. I've never painted a ghost. I just don't get into that type of Halloween stuff, but I think I want to paint a cutesy ghost. I don't get into all the scary stuff and everything, but I think a cutesy ghost would be fun. So I might put a ghost on one side. I don't know, I'll have to kind of play around with the pattern. And then I've got to get busy and do some batch painting, like painting 7 or 8 of one thing at a time if I'm gonna get ready for that show. Okay, I think we are gonna put a third coat on it because it's still pretty streaky. If I don't, I'll regret it. See, I think it still needs one more coat. One more will definitely do it. And then we'll get the pretty shading on there, and that'll really bring it out. Let me do some dry brushing. I shouldn't have put that brush up. Well, I've got another one though. In the center with some of that citron green. The lady next door to us, we have met her. We absolutely adore her. She had a little Yorkie puppy. Not puppy, he was 4 years old. And so we just had met him. She'd had him for a few weeks. people were moving and couldn't take him. But then I called her, I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago when my grandkids were here to see if we could come over and let them see him. And she said, well, I don't have him anymore. I'll have to tell you that story. So I haven't talked to her. She said he's not here anymore. He's gone. So I don't know, who has him. But anyway, our dining room window faces the side of her house. So we've got a fence in between us. And so my company, we had 4 people over and then us. So there were 6 people sitting around our table. I had the blinds open, and all of a sudden up over the fence, I see this little puppy coming up over the fence. And get rid of this message. It's just it's a Yorkie. So I'm thinking, she said she didn't have him anymore. So I'm just not telling my company at the table what's going on. And I keep seeing this, come up over the fence. And I thought, but that's too little. He looks so tiny. So I thought, well, maybe she decided to keep him after all. I don't know. But so I haven't got to talk to her to see what's going on. But David was out in the yard working today, and she was out there, and he was on the phone, so he didn't get to talk to her. But she held it up, and it's a new puppy. It's a puppy, little Yorkie. So I will definitely be giving her a call tomorrow to go over and see that baby and find out what happened to the other one. I'm wondering if the owner that she got him from just decided, even though they moved, that they just missed him so much, or her granddaughter was just in love with him if she gave him to her granddaughter. So I'm anxious to hear the story. Okay, definitely 3 coats gets it. Okay, so see the difference in that one? That's 2 coats, splotchy. And then that one with 3. Covers so much better. All right, let's get the 3rd coat on that one. And then we'll get our details on it. Okay, so we're done with that color. Let's get some of this Hauser dark green. Okay, so I'm going to do the bottoms and around the petals in the dark green. Okay, so just down in where it would be shadowed. And get it a little darker there. Okay, let's do the bottom the same way. There's that one. think which would be the bottom. Hello, Miss Marie. Hi, Becca. How are you, sweetheart? You having a good school year? I know you, last time I talked to y'all, you hadn't started your homeschooling yet. I think you're homeschooled. Isn't that what you said? So if you're homeschooled, how are you liking your teacher? Is she harder on you, or does she go easy on you? Okay, just going a little darker over here. Okay, now let's do some of that citron green on the top. I don't think we'll do any in the center. I think I just like it up top there. I'll try this one. I've just got water in my brush and not on the leaf itself. Okay, yeah, I think I like that better. Let's put a little more on this one. Just walking it out a little. Okay, and then down the center, sometimes I use my liner brush and do some veins, but I think I'm just going to do a center vein with the dark Hauser. So I'm just going to float. And we'll do the same here. Okay, so there's our leaves. See if I can get one close to you. And that's all I'm going to do on those. All right, let's get some more color on this. Get my daughter. And let's start with, I think I want to do some of that camel color. It's really thick because it's so old. Get my paint out of the way so you can see what's going on here. Putting some up on the petals. Now here's where I have to be careful because I'll start rubbing my arm everywhere. Now this color doesn't show up real well in the petals, but we'll have some of the other colors that will. Could have gone a little lighter with a tan maybe, but it's okay, it looks fine. Becca, this is what's on the other side. We did a snowman on the other side of the bucket. Hi, Kathy. Yep, we homeschool. Becca said, I like her. She's pretty nice and she smells good. Nice to know my showers pay off. Oh. Kiddos. The world would be a terrible place without them. Okay, so we're done with that color. Let's put some orange in. I hear Mr. Pam. Now that orange shows up really well on the petals, and then when we put some white in, it'll make these colors pop. Mr. Pam's gonna think, I thought you were gonna have my supper ready. Might even stick a few black ones in. Hold it up here. If I can't hold it up too much or they'll run. Okay, I think we're pretty good on the orange. Maybe a couple more down here. All right, let's go ahead. I didn't get any black. Let's do some black. And then we'll do some white. And I might do a couple of curly cues, and then I think we'll be done. Oh yes, I like the black, especially on that yellow. Doesn't take as many of the black to really stand out. I thought about doing the crisscross on it, and then I thought about doing buffalo plaid on it, and I thought, no, we're just gonna go simple. Okay, now let's put some white. Get some fresh white. Oh, good. Snowman, I love to paint snowmen. And I hope we get a pretty snow this year. The white just brings it all out. And it's already splattered in the back. That's the way it came, so that looks good with it. You'll have to tell me. You can't keep everything. You can't keep everything. If you keep everything, you won't have anything for the craft show. Now, if I can do this without rubbing my arm across the other ones, I will be amazed. Oops. I'm not going to brag about not getting it on my Sunday dress. Yeah, I don't want to jinx it. I'll wait till I have it off on the hanger. Okay, let's put a dot. At the tip of each petal. I don't have time tonight, but you know what this has got to have? I think it's got to have a ladybug on the leaves. If I'd have thought about that, I would have done it before I did all the dots. Okay, we've got, see if we need any more. See if I can hold it up. Didn't that make it colorful? Okay, let's do some little curly cues. I'm terrible with curly cues, but, or maybe not curly cues, but just something coming out here. Let's do them in white, or we could do them in, yeah, we'll do them in white. We could also do them in the greens, but we'll do them in white and just put some colored dots on them. Nope, I changed my mind. Changed my mind. We're gonna do it in Hauser light green. Okay, let's see where we want them. Let me look at it right side up. Let's put one here. Oops. Told you I'm terrible with curly cues. Yeah, let's make it come out just a little bit longer. And I'll clean that up, but we're going to put some little dots there. And let's put one coming out. Let's put one coming out here. I'll just make that one straight. Okay, and I'll clean that one up a little bit. But let's go ahead and put while our paint's still wet, let's go ahead and put some dots. Let's put some orange and white. And we'll put some down here. Okay, let's go in with some orange. Okay, what do you think? Again, I may end up putting some little ladybugs on here on the leaves. Not sure yet. Just depends on how much time I've got tomorrow, but I'll post a picture of front and back tomorrow. Be thinking of all the little things you could put in it if you find these. I absolutely love painting on it. Wasn't sure how I would like it, but I do love the surface. Let me pull you back up here. Okay, so here we go. So now you've got one for summer and fall. I even thought it would be cute to put a little pumpkin face in that center. To put a little pumpkin in it. And then you've got one for winter. And if you're just coming on, if you didn't come on the beginning, go back and watch the beginning and see what I used to put this pattern on. You can find stuff anywhere, so many places. Oh, I'm coming apart here. But anyway, go back and watch the replay. Don't forget to put hashtag replay on there, please. And if you don't mind, I would love it if you would spread the video out to all of your pages. I hope you've had a wonderful Sunday, a wonderful weekend. We sure did. We just had a wonderful day at church. Just some fantastic fellowship and lessons and a good meal. And I mean, just a great way to start the week. So I hope you did too. And I want to thank you so much for joining me. I'll be popping in and out here probably 2 or 3 times this week. Whatever I'm doing, I'm going to try to jump on and see if I can get my reach back up there where it was. But I appreciate it so much you joining me. You guys mean more than you know to me. So I'm going to go feed Mr. Pam and sit down and watch a movie, I think. All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.